copyright notices. If you wish to read, pause the video. The original videos are linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one, what we're going to see is how the police freely admit how they are here to assist the bailiffs. Not prevent the breach of the peace, what they are supposed to be there for, but to assist. It comes straight out of an officer's mouth, and then he tries to backtrack. But we'll get straight into it and we'll break it down.
Should the eviction go ahead? People with mental health problems and physical disabilities cannot, under mortgage law, be physically forcibly removed from their own property. So, unless a Lloyd's representative or Halifax comes here and explains on what basis they have avoided that, then I'm afraid you're all going to be in breach of law, contract, human rights, and I'm talking genuinely here. I've got qualifications, I've dealt with this many times. There should be a representative, there should be some diplomacy, there should be an opportunity to discuss things properly and correctly with the person and with a representative on who you're acting on behalf of.
Okay then, so we're not very far into this video, and I've already spent over an hour just doing a little bit of research on this. I can't find the exact bit of legislation he's talking about, but I can tell you the law he is talking about, which is the Law of Property Act of 1925, and I've got up to section 147. This is massive. I can't go through it all. I don't really have time. But that is the act he's going through. If you can find the piece of this legislation he's talking about, 146 and 147 is the bit he's talking about at the end, where there should be a representation of their business and somebody who can have a civil conversation. That happens in court. That's what that section is. Section 146 and 147 is what you go, what they would apply at the courts for. But that was probably already happened if there's got a warrant, so let's just carry on.
Okay, without a signed warrant, without reason and rationale as to why you're putting a vulnerable person on the streets, you should not be doing this. And anyone that does do it, then they'll have to take responsibility for what happens after it. But I'm telling you now, they cannot breach the Lloyd's terms and conditions of the mortgage contract. A vulnerable person with children and physical disabilities cannot be physically removed from the property. Okay? So anything that you do will be criminal and it will be unlawful, unless you show me contrary otherwise.
Okay, so he's on about Lloyd's contract terms or something like that. Basically, it's in the terms of their contract. But if you've breached that contract, they can now take you to court and get out of that contract. But they have to send under, if they're going to evict you, they have to let the local authorities know and send them a Section 11 notice. I wonder if they actually sent the Section 11 notice to the council, because the council will then get in touch with the people who owns the property and see if they can help rehouse or even get in touch with the lender, in this case Lloyd's, and discuss a way to resolve this situation without them coming to a point where they get evicted. I wonder if that actually happened or not.
And I'll show you the conditions here.
Show us your ID and we'll check your credentials.
I've got credentials, I don't need to show. I'll show you, but you're not taking physical stuff of it, but I am fully qualified in financial advice. You're not taking it, okay?
It's a business
But I
card,
am.
well that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
credentials.
Well, it is credentials. I've got more credentials than I need.
On a business card.
I'm fully qualified.
Choose your
in
common
financial
sense.
advice. I've done it for 24 years. I've worked for Halifax for 8 years. I dealt with things like this for Halifax for 8 years. Okay? So without diplomacy, without giving us the rationale as to why you're evicting a disabled, vulnerable person suffering with mental health problems, I'd like to see an agent here, or I'd like to see the court order and the judge's name who signed it and authorised it. Because without that, what you're doing is not only in breach of your own terms and conditions, you as a bailiff cannot evict a vulnerable.
So the police like to do that, don't they? Decredit anybody which they think doesn't have the qualifications or accreditations or whatever she said. Where's yours? You did like a year of training to enforce laws, whereas a lawyer spends years and years of training to become a lawyer. You know what I mean? Where's the thingy on that? I know somebody that's going to go to court and fight for people's rights and the law has to spend years and years, and even spend years practicing without getting paid. But yet we're going to train some officers which then can use lethal force and all this other stuff for a couple of months, up to a year, send them on the street to enforce the same laws. There's no logic to it.
Vulnerable person and put them in a position where they are unsafe. You cannot do that under your own terms and conditions. You guys are here to keep a breach of the peace. You're not here to enforce that. And without the correct information, I suggest you do not go ahead with it. I really do. I don't care about my licence. You can try and take my licence off me. I'm here to help people like this. Vulnerable people should not be, this is unnecessary and it's causing her alarm and distress. It's unnecessary. We're being very civil. Hang on,
But no one
I'll
has
finish.
to speak to you.
Okay,
You're not the
I'm
owner
an
of the
agent
property.
on behalf of them.
But
Okay.
you're not the owner of the property.
Excuse
Any
me?
discussion needs to be made with you.
Yes. So can we have an agent from the bank here who's enforcing this, please?
So that's not
You're
to
not
speak to you.
enforcing it. No,
That's
no.
not to
I'm
speak to
here.
you.
I'm going to be here and help offer her advice. So I will stand.
it's to
Go and
speak
get
to
someone
her,
then to
isn't
speak
it?
to her, and I'll stand with her. You're the one who spoke directly to me. Go and get someone to speak. All right. Go and get someone, and I'll help her
So
speak
these
to them.
guys will only
Yeah, yeah.
speak to the
Okay.
person who they need to speak to. They're not going to
Okay,
speak to
so
you when we
in
don't
my
know who
presence
you
then.
are,
Okay, all right. So you want to speak to the person who you're trying to evict, do you? Yeah, who's vulnerable.
So again, I don't understand why the police are actually getting involved. This is a civil matter. Until it becomes a criminal matter, they should stay shut up and just observe. That's what they're there to do. Observe. They're not there to assist in a civil matter.
Mental health problems. Do you think that's appropriate in your own terms and conditions of how you're meant to do your job? Because it's not, is it? Because you could go and speak to someone who's vulnerable and they could say, all right, yeah, I'll leave. And that's in breach of law. UK law. You cannot penalise someone for being vulnerable. Okay?
I wouldn't say that, lad.
I think you're fine, mate. I
thought that.
Yeah. You're no oil painting yourself, are you, lad? Want a job as well? Get a real life. Yeah? Try and help people instead of picking on vulnerable people, yeah? You want to have a discussion about it afterwards when everyone's gone? You're very welcome, my friend. If you want to insult me, and call me pink, I'll have a discussion.
It seems like this bailiff or whoever it was, what just, in my eyes, was racist towards this guy speaking by calling him pink. Now, would it be different if he was black or Asian? Would it have made a difference? Would the police have stepped in and stopped it? Or do you think the police would have just continued to allow it to happen? Because in my eyes, the police are there to assist them. They don't care whatever this person's saying. That's pretty clear. I think the bailiffs and those lot can do and say whatever they want at this point and get away with it. But they're saying threatening. No, it said discussion. Having a discussion is not threatening at all.
About my skin colour, because that's racism. That's racism. Racism.
Okay.
You want to have I asked for a decent conversation, an intellectual conversation, and he says, you're pink. No, I'm asking for an intellectual conversation, and he calls me pink. Do you think my skin colour has anything to do with it? Does my skin colour have anything to do with it? Does it? Does it have anything to do? Right, when you've got a sensible person with an actual brain who wants an intellectual conversation about laws, send them over, yeah? Yeah, rather than calling me pink.
Numpty.
Right, I'll definitely make sure a complaint goes in about that.
Okay, don't worry. We'll sort it.
Imagine if I had black skin and he said that. Yeah.
See, I called it. The police are going to defend them no matter what. Like he just said, but this person hit it on the head, nail on the head. If I had black skin and he said that, the police said it would be a bit different. Why is it different? So only black people can be racially abused? No. Black people can be racially abusive towards white people. White people can be racially abused towards black people. Black people can do it to Chinese people. Chinese people can do it, and so on and so on and so on. Racial bias doesn't just apply to black people. Until everybody gets that into the stupid thick skulls, this whole thing will just continue. Every single officer there must be fucking retarded to not actually realise racial bias doesn't just apply to coloured people. It applies to yourself as well.
That's what you were trying to say. You were getting aggravated.
No, he's not. No, he's asking questions and no one's answering questions because you can't.
We don't have to speak to him.
If you're breaking the law or you're going to break the law, then yeah, he's trying to prevent it. That's all we're trying to do is prevent. Yeah. So, you should all be mediators, shouldn't you? Yeah. Yeah. So, why aren't some of you over there speaking to them?
Because we're not here to mediate. Are we?
Yeah, you are. You're meant to be. Yeah. No, you're meant to be stopping a breach of peace. Yeah. Okay. So why is every police officer on with the bailiffs, and why aren't any police officers over there discussing things with the people? Go on.
So there's a few things there. Police are mediators and are there to prevent the breach of the peace and mediate to make sure there is not a breach of the peace. What they're doing here looks like they are working alongside the bailiffs, because not one of them has gone over to the people in the house which are going to be getting evicted to try and mediate a solution. That stood there with the bailiffs like a big gang. It is that simple. This person's hit it on the head. These officers, the fact that they don't actually realise they're there to mediate a situation, to make sure it doesn't get out of hand, is a bit delusional. Maybe every single one of them needs retraining or firing.
We're here because we're just here to help them. We're not here to get involved with anything.
What?
Did you just hear that? Did you hear what it just said? And that is why people don't like the police. They're not there to do their job. They are here to help the bailiffs. It is that simple. He's just said it out of his own goddamn mouth, which is a big, big mistake for him.
I'm not. They're here to help them.
Yeah.
He's just said on camera. They're here to help the bailiffs. Wow. That's against the law. You need to arrest him. He's not allowed to help bailiffs. It's a civil matter.
We're here to prevent the breach of
Yeah, and help the bailiffs. No, wow.
See how it sunk into this dumb officer's mind within seconds what he's just said and tried to backtrack. You have little Miss Piggy next to him, which is trying to say, no, we're here to prevent the breach of the peace. If you're there to assist the bailiffs, the bailiffs must have got special permission from a judge to do so, or there is a high court writ. And even so, you're not there to assist, you're there to prevent a breach of the peace from either the people in the house or even the bailiffs. It is that simple.
Wow, you're in trouble, you lad. You're in big trouble, and you just blew all of these up.
No.
All of them. You said here to help the bailiffs.
Okay.
That's against the law.
Okay.
That's against the law.
Okay.
Go on then, you go back over there then.
I won't.
You go
I
do what
won't.
we're doing then, and
No.
you go back over there.
What
That's
you?
what you're doing.
So this gang,
Just wind
this
the
gang
situation
here
up, yeah. That's what
is
you're doing, is winding the situation
is
up.
helping this gang.
Just me.
No, you just blew your whole force up. 3537. You daft. You daft.
Okay.
You just blew your force up. You are. You are.
Okay.
That's fine, don't worry.
You just blew yourself up and your whole force up because you're not allowed to say that you're here to help bailiffs. You're not allowed to say you're here to help bailiffs.
I said I'm here to help them.
Yes, yes. And looked at them. And looked at them.
Go and be with
We've come
Paul.
here to help them.
Hey, I'm not aggressive.
I didn't say
I'm smiling because you just blew your whole gang up.
It's like you don't even listen to what I'm actually saying.
You've just blew them all up
It's like you hear something else.
because I shouldn't be speaking.
Okay then, so I'm going to end the video here. There's another like 10 minutes of the video. I'm not going to extend this video longer than it needs to be. Go over to this channel, watch the full unedited version of this video, and let them know you've been sent from me. Subscribe to their content, as I do make videos like this all the time. But what this officer said, did you realise? He realised what he said. He realised he was messed up, and all the others are trying to get rid of him, of this person, away from him, so to stop saying stupid things, because they're that stupid. They don't think about what they're saying before they're saying it. They're just saying stuff and then realise, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. So now they're trying to move him away from him before them say even more stupid stuff. They do say quite a lot more stupid stuff in this video, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to cover the whole thing. There's like another 10 minutes of this video. But go over to their channel and watch it all, and then come back and let me know what you thought of the rest of the interaction. But let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction so far. As always, like the video, it does help in YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.